Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Dicky Eggy Febrian, which three-digit number is 044. Today in this video, I want to read a story with the title of Uncle Owl, written by Binoy Barman as the author and Ariful Islam as the illustrator. So let's begin to this story. In a big field next to the village, the villagers gather for a meeting. Rats have become a big nuisance for the whole village, says one of the villagers. They are spoiling our weeds and stealing our crops, says the other one. Another villager adds, these rats are chewing holes in our clothes and leaving garbage in our yards. What can we do? What can we do? They all murmur. And then suddenly, two young men pushed through the crowd. We need to ask Uncle Owl for his help. Only he who can save us, they say. But he lives far away in the hills beyond the river, but we can find him if you let us. The villagers quickly talk among themselves. You must go and bring Uncle Owl to our village right away, says one of the elder men. The next day, the young men cross the big river, climb up and down many hills, and finally they come across a villager. Do you know where Uncle Owl lives? They ask. The villagers tell them that they must search for a big banyan tree called the Banyan of Owls. In there, they will find Uncle Owl. After many hours of finding, the two men finally find an old man sitting under a huge banyan tree. There are owls sitting on the branch all around him. This must be Uncle Owl, whispered the man. Such a scary owl. The men tell Uncle Owl how their village has been besieged by rats. Uncle Owl listens to them carefully. Once they finish, he asks them a question. Do you have banyan tree in your village? Yes, exclaimed the man. We have one right in the middle of our village. Uncle Owl promised he will come to their village soon. He lived about that the two men then began their journey back. Ho ho ho! What's that noise? The next evening, the banyan tree in the middle of the village is full of owls. The villagers find an old man in a yellow shawl standing under a tree. The villagers gather around him as the owl hooted loudly from the branch. This must be Uncle Owl, they whisper. When did Uncle Owl come to the village? Nobody saw him coming along the village roads. Uncle Owl raised his hand, and then suddenly the owls and all of the people fall silent. Uncle Owl addressed the gathering. Tonight, all the rats will disappear from this village. But remember, everyone must stay inside their home. If anyone steps out, warn the villagers, they will be in great danger. And then, as the night spread itself across the sky, the two young men are too curious to stay at home. They ignore the warning from the Uncle Owl and then they climb up to the branch of a mango tree and wait for the darkness to come. Oh, such a foolish action. In the dead of the night, Uncle Owl hoots loudly, and then hundreds of owls fly from the banyan tree, filling the night sky with the rush of their wings. At the end of the night, the owls return to the banyan tree, which each of them have a rat clutched between its claws. Uncle Owl's orange shawl has dropped to the ground, and Uncle Owl stands beneath the tree. His body is covered with bird feathers, his legs look like a bird's, and head like an owl's. He has two big wings instead of hands. Ho ho ho! He called to the owl. The owl dropped the rats on the orange soil as if by magic it folded up and the rat disappeared into the soil. Uncle Owl stretches his wing and flies silently into the sky. But suddenly he dives down at the mango tree where the young men have been watching him secretly. Ooh, I wonder what will happen next. Oh, the next morning, the villagers are delighted that they find that there is not a single rat in the village. But they wonder where are the two young men. The villagers search high and low, but the two men are never to be found again. Some say Uncle Owl turned them into owls and took them with him. What do you think about that? The end. So I think that is for me. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you very much.